Hi guys, welcome back to Crochets. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're going to upcycle a pair of pants. We want to make it wider because the hip area is smaller, and I started off by peeling off the glittery accessories on the sides of the pants. I'm making this wider for a child. As you can see, the pair of pants is a bit smaller. And you can use this formula to upcycle any pair of pants and make it wide so that it fits perfectly on the hips. That is, if the waist area fits you, but then the hips are smaller, you can use this formula to make the pants fit you perfectly. You need to start out by taking the measurement of the hips of your pants. And mine, when it's stretched, it goes up to 15 because it's folded into two. Then I need to multiply this by 2, and that will get me to 30 inches. That is 15 multiplied by 2 gets me to 30 inches. Now the next thing that we want to determine is the size of the hips that you want to work, and I want to increase this from 30 inches to 37 inches. So that means I'm going to increase the sides by 7 inches. We require a pair of scissors, some yarn, medium weight yarn. We're going to need 2 hooks. One of them is a 1mm crochet hook, a very small hook that is, and the other one is a 3.5mm crochet hook. And then you're going to need a measuring tape. We're going to need a marker. It could be a pen, it could be a chalk, a darning needle, stitch markers, at least 2. We start off by cutting off the sides of the pants using the pair of scissors, but I was advised by a friend that a seam ripper would work perfectly as compared to a pair of scissors. So if you have a seam ripper, then I would advise you to undo this part using a seam ripper, because I made mistakes cutting off the pants with a pair of scissors, and I wouldn't want you to make the same mistake. So use a seam ripper if you have it, and then you're going to cut the pair of pants all the way to the top. Just make sure that you don't cut the waistband. Now I cut off my pair of pants up to the point where the pockets begin, and that is where I made my second mistake. My first mistake was using a pair of scissors instead of a seam ripper. The second mistake was not cutting the pants up to where the waistband is. The only thing that you don't need to cut off is the waistband. So make sure that you cut your pants up to the waistband. Like I've mentioned, I've made so many mistakes doing this, and I'm going to be doing another video to correct all these mistakes. But meanwhile, we're going to work with this. Listen to what I'm saying, but do not do what I did. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the third mistake was made. Do not use a pair of scissors, because look at what I've done. After ripping off the pants on either of the sides, we're going to measure the length of the pants from the point where we've cut all the way down. I'm getting a length of 26 inches, and therefore the panel that I'm going to attach to the pants should have a length of 26 inches. That is when you measure from the top all the way to the bottom of the panel. These are the calculations that you need to make before you start working. So get your hip measurements. Mine is 30, the one that is on the pair of pants. And now get the new hip measurement that you want to get. And I want to get to 37. Then you're going to take the new, mine is 37, and subtract the old, which is 30, and that will give you 7. Now you're going to take 7 and divide it by 2, and that will give me 3.5. So you're going to take the measurements depending on the pants that you're working. Now we're going to work 2 panels, and each of the panels is going to have 3.5 inches, and I'm working a length of 26 inches. This is one of the complete panels. We're making 2. I've already done 1, and therefore I'll be showing you how to make the other one, that is. As you can see, when I'm measuring from the top all the way to the bottom part of the panel, it's getting me to 26 inches, which is the exact measurements that I want to work. And then you need to measure the width, and that width, when you stretch it a little bit, it will get me to around 4 inches, 3.54, which is okay. So let's get into making the other one. Start with a slip knot using the 3.5mm crochet hook. And then we're going to start with chaining 2, chain 1, and then 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the first chain, yarn over and pull up a loop to get 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 3 loops to get a half double crochet, Then place 2 more half double crochets into that first chain to get a total of 3 half double crochets into the first chain. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 2. We start row 2 with an increase in the first stitch, so we place 2 half double crochets into that first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the second stitch, then we increase at the end 2 half double crochets into the third stitch. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 3, and row 3 is going to be a row with no increase, so we're going to place 1 half double crochet into each of the stitches. In total we should have 5 half double crochets by the end of row 3. Just 1 half double crochet into every stitch until the end. I'm at the end, so I'm placing my last half double crochet. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 4. Row 4 is going to be an increased row, so 2 half double crochets into that first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the stitch that follows, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, 2 half double crochets at the end, and at the end of row 4 we should have 7 half double crochets. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 5. Row 5 is going to be a row with no increase, so 1 half double crochet into every stitches, each of the stitches that is, to the end, and you're going to have 7 half double crochets. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 6. Row 6 is going to be an increased row, so we start with 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the stitches that are in the middle, then we're going to increase at the end. So each of the middle stitches get just 1 half double crochet. We get to the end and place 2 half double crochets into the last stitch. So right here I'm going to chain 1 and turn to begin row 7. Row 7 is going to be a row with no increase. At the end of row 7 we're going to have 9 half double crochets. So we are alternating between a row of increase and a row with no increase. I'm coming to the end of row 7 and I'm placing my half double crochet into the last stitch right now. Then I'll chain 1 and turn to begin row 8. Start with an increase in the beginning. Then I'll work all the stitches, all the other stitches apart from the last one with 1 half double crochet. When I get to the end, I'll place 2 half double crochets into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 9, and row 9 is going to be with no increase, so each of the stitches will get 1 half double crochet till we get to the end. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 10, and row 10 is going to be an increased row, so 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the stitches that are in the middle, then we increase at the end. Work the 2 half double crochets into that last stitch. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 11. We work row 11 with just 1 stitch into every stitch, that is, we're not increasing in this row. Once I'm done with this row, I think I've gotten to my width, and I'm going to get the measuring tape and take the measurement from one end to the other. And as you can see, without stretching, I'm at 3.5. If I give it a little bit of a stretch, it will go to around 4 inches. From this point on, I'm just going to repeat rows of 1 half double crochet into every stitch without increasing at any point. And I'll keep going with a row after row after row until I get to the full length of the panel. I want to get to a length of 26 inches. So I'll keep repeating the row with no increase till I get to the 26 inches. And once I get to the 26 inches, I'll be back, and then we'll be able to connect the panels to the pants. If you want to work more inches on the width of the panel, then you need to continue alternating between an increase and no increase till you get to that width that you want. So do not stop at the point where I've stopped. Just keep going until you get your desired width. Now let me work this panel with just 1/2 double crochet into every stitch in every row and then come back. I have the 2 panels ready and I'm ready to attach them to the pants. So I'm just going to get the pants and then connect them. Get your pair of pants, and because I used a pair of scissors and I had to rip somewhere up above the pockets, you can see the pockets are a bit open, so you'll need to sew that point. And then we have this part that is on one side of the pair of pants, so you need to rip that off. But remember, if you had used a seam ripper, you'll not need to do this. So use a seam ripper. So we're going to rip off this part on both sides of the pair of pants, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. So do that and let's meet once you're done ripping off that part. That is if you did not use a seam ripper. Now we are ready to connect the panels, and we need to start by working a row on the pants on either side of the pants. And we're going to start by measuring using the centimeter side of the measuring tape. We're going to measure 1 centimeter from either side of the pair of pants. So we're measuring 1 centimeters apart. Now, right here, I'm just trying to check out which side will be okay for me to begin with. Like, should I begin from the top or from the bottom? And I'm going to begin from the bottom. And as you can see, I'm going to be marking a centimeter each, a centimeter apart. So we're going to be placing stitches on the pair of pants, that is on the pair of jeans, and you want your stitches to be a centimeter apart, and you just want to mark 1 centimeters all the way to the top. Then you're going to turn to the other side and mark 1 centimeters. Then you're going to go to the other side of the pants on the other leg and mark 1 centimeters apart all the way to the top, and on the other side all the way to the top. Let me do that, then come back. I'm done with the marking, and I'm going to start from the bottom side, from the bottom part on one side. Now you need to use the smaller hook because this is the one that can be able to go through the pair of jeans and create some holes where we're going to place the stitches. Right here, I'm just marking the last parts of the pair of jeans. So now I'll get that small hook, the 1.0 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm just going to push it through. Because right here we have 2 layers, then it's a bit hard, so I'll go from the inside and I'll just try to go through 1 layer of the material. So I'm going from the inside, creating the gap or the hole, and then I'll just get my hook and go in from the outside. Then I'll grab the yarn and connect it at that point, pull the yarn through and chain 1 at the beginning, and that will act as our first single crochet into that first gap that we've created. Then you're going to go to the first mark that we made right there, and I'm just forcing my hook through because, like I mentioned, we have 2 layers there. So I'm going through the inside, and then from the outside I'm grabbing the yarn and pulling it through to get 2 loops on the hook, then completing a single crochet into the next mark, insert the hook and push it through and do a single crochet into the next mark, push the hook through, and then pull up the yarn and complete a single crochet. And I'm going to place a single crochet into each of those marks where I've marked with the 1 centimeter interval. So just go on and place a single crochet into each of those markings all the way to the top of the pair of jeans. This is what we're going to have after placing 1 single crochet up to the top, And when we get to the top, we're just going to turn to the other side. But before we turn to the other side, we're going to place a single crochet that is very close to the middle part. Right there, just go somewhere in the middle, wherever you're able to push your hook through, and place a single crochet. Then you're just going to turn to the other side and place a single crochet into each of the markings. Right here, I'm just forcing my last single crochet through those two layers of the pair of jeans. I'll do a single crochet, chain one, and I'm going to leave a long end that I'm going to use to attach the panel to the pants. So then cut off the yarn, and then I'll pull it through. Once you've pulled the yarn through, fasten, and then we're going to get the panel and attach it at that point. So just turn your work like this, get the panel that we've already worked and the stitch markers. So we're getting one of them together with a stitch marker, and we're going to mark to the at the top. So get the stitch marker, put it through that very first stitch that we did, then connect it to the stitch in the middle on the top part of the pair of pants. And then we're going to get another stitch marker and we mark the middle part. So just align your work, make sure it's well lined up, and then you're going to grab another stitch marker and mark somewhere in the middle part of the jeans and the panel. Next, we get the darning needle, and we're going to use that end that we've left on the pair of pants, and we're going to put it through the darning needle, and we're going to use this needle to sew the panel and the jeans together. I'm doing this from the right side. I'm not turning to the wrong side because the seams are invisible. So just go through to the beginning of the panel and put your yarn through, then go back into the very first stitch, the first or the last stitch. It could be the first, it could be the last, because it's the last stitch that we did when we were coming down, but it's the first as we go up. Then go on to the next row on the panel. So you're just going to work the way I'm doing, just watch and learn. And you want to join like this all the way to the top. So let me keep going to the top, and I'll meet you once I'm done attaching on this side. Once you get to the top, you're going to get the first stitch on the panel and attach it to the middle stitch on the pair of jeans. And you're just going to attach the same way we've been attaching. And then after that, we're going to work on the other side. Connect the panel to the stitches on the pair of jeans on the other side, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm just working the last stitches, and I'll pull out the stitch marker and connect the last few stitches in the rows. Then after that, we're going to work a knot and weave in the end that remains on the inside part of the pair of pants. So weave in those two ends, and once you weave them in, you'll be done with connecting that extension on the pair of pants. After you're done, this is what you're going to have on each of the sides of the pants. So now we're going to go onto the other leg and replicate what we've done onto this side. So go on, do this to the other side of the pants on the other leg. I'll do that off camera, then come back. Now, as you can see, because of the mistake that I made, the hips look too low, and therefore I'm going to be making this correction, and I'll be attaching the panel from the waistband all the way down instead of what I've just done. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial. If this tutorial has been informative, kindly leave a like, a comment, share, subscribe, and you can give me ideas on better ways to make sure that I end up with something better than this. See you in the next one.